Collective, what is going on? Welcome into the channel. Happy Sunday Funday. So excited to have you here with me. My name is Deborah, owner of Purusha Holistic Wellness, and this is another episode of Purusha Intuitive, where we're going to look at your energy via the tarot, astrology, and any channeled messages that come through. So let's get into it. I so apologize for the live recording mishaps. I swear I tried to go on many times. I don't know if my internet's just not working. We are in Mercury retrograde, so I just am assuming it wasn't meant to be, and that's why I'm recording it. But super excited. Sunday Funday. Well, you know, we've been all going through a lot. There's a lot of change. There's a lot of things that are kind of popping off this way and that. And we just need some goodness in our life, you know? I really wanted to connect with this series because I feel like it's a really good way to shift our perspective so we're not so fixated, so focused on the things that aren't working or the people, blocks, obstacles that are coming into place. And yeah, some of that stuff will pop up here. I'm not going to be all rainbows and, you know, fairies, pots of gold popping up everywhere, you know, but I feel like I'm a huge believer in law of attraction. Quantum physics has proven it. Bosons of a feather flock together, right? So like attracts like. If we're emanating, vibrating a certain kind of thought, belief about ourselves, about other people, you know, that's where we're magnetizing through that law of attraction. And sometimes it's really hard to see the benefit, especially when there is a lot going on. There's a lot of chaos, a lot of challenges. Sorry, I don't know why I picked this up because I like to start off with a cleansing, probably because I already did one. But so we'll get into it a little bit more. Like I said, I like to start off the readings with an energy cleansing just to set the tone, set the vibe, cleanse out those places we might feel blocked, limited, etc. It's a really good time to set your own intention as well, especially, you know, if you have something on your heart, on your mind that you really would love Spirit to deliver messages to you around. Definitely give that over. Be open to receive. Spirit wants to speak to us and is speaking to us in so many different ways. I also do personal readings. I offer a variety of healing wellness services. Readings are one of them. If you want me to look at your specific situation, how it's faring, where it's headed, or if you are just interested in more of a realignment of self, your mind, body, soul, I do energy healing as well as Ayurvedic or holistic wellness consultations. When we're in alignment, when we know who we are, what we want, we better know how to get it, right? And we feel grounded in ourselves. That's when we can really claim whether we want to invite something into our life or not. And I would love to help support that in whatever way for you. Definitely hit me up. All the info to get into contact with me is in the description box below. All right, let's get into it. I bless you with pure love and light, pure source energy, pure loving grace. I release anything that is not for your highest and best. Any fears, doubts, insecurities, lack of worth, lack of value, pain, anger, frustration, impatience, overwhelm. Cleanse it and release it from our being so we may see and understand the messages clearly and help to make me a clear and open channel for the collective. Thank you, Father God, Spirit guides, guardian angels, Mama Love. All right, collective. So what I'm hearing for you is something feels a little bit awkward, specifically related to your success, whatever this is for you, whether you're trying to bring in more money, you know, wherever you're trying to bring in abundance, relationships, family, children, you know, new job, new career, whatever it is for you. I feel like I'm picking up this energy of you're feeling really awkward, you know, I think this is more your own perception of yourself is what I'm hearing. Maybe it's not as awkward as what you're internalizing it to be. I think oftentimes it's so much easier to be hyper self-aware and hyper self-critical. And most of the time people that we're around don't necessarily pick up on it in the same way that we do, you know? So, okay, we have clarity in your overarching energy this week. So this has been a theme lately, especially with change, especially because we're being forced to really understand why change is happening or why it's needed, even when it is something that like might be a little bit difficult to see about ourselves. The number 11 is connected to our empowerment. It is kind of like when we are functioning out of the best version of ourselves, whatever that looks like for you. I heard this one relationship expert say there's always something we can do to better ourselves, to be a little bit better, look a little bit better, level ourselves up in whatever way possible. And I'm seeing this energy as you like investing in yourself. Investing in yourself the way you want someone or something else to invest in you. That's where it all starts, right? And so much of what we're learning right now is how to really connect with that value of investing in ourselves in an authentic way, not trying to get ahead, not trying to stomp all over other people, not letting someone else be our hero is how I'm hearing this energy with hero and guardian. Because I feel like you need to be your own hero. I feel like that's actually what Pluto moving into Aquarius is all about. Capricorn energy, which comes before Aquarian energy, forces us to do hard work. It's like hard labor. That's kind of how I look at it. If you know Capricorns, they're very strong, they're very disciplined, they can manage a lot and pretty fluidly. It helps us get, like, being able to set that strong foundation really helps us to get to the next level, right? Aquarian energy connects us with our quote unquote wish fulfillment or things that our heart is really desiring. And things are coming full circle with the omen and mourning. Things are coming full circle. I feel like in some ways, as you have been leveling yourself up, and to whatever capacity, it doesn't have to be like you putting in all this blood, sweat, and tears. You could be into something, but it doesn't necessarily have to be. It can even just be like small little changes that you do for yourself every day. Or I want to pay attention to that part of myself so it doesn't get out of check, or whatever it may be for you. I'm seeing you as you're kind of establishing your self-worth in a different way, in a more empowered way, in a way that I hear like commands respect, or especially like from the people that haven't been respectful of you is what I'm hearing, right? I feel as I'm saying that someone is at your mercy. I feel like certain people will be at your mercy. Maybe even people that treated you like a puppet, like a toy. And what I'm hearing with this is, like, again, we often grow through hardship, through difficulty. I feel like the mask, the blinders are off to some capacity. I keep hearing that. And it's for you, I'm seeing it as a good thing. Maybe not for someone or other people. Yeah, 100%. This is in your blocked energy. And actually, the sun and strings came up when I was doing the live. I don't know if that got recorded. I'm probably going to delete it because Lord knows. Lord knows how it looks. But people, like I said, right? Situations that play with you, that toy with you, that pull at your heartstrings. You're in the midst of that. But here's the thing. I don't see you retaliating. This is not about you getting back at someone. And honestly, that's the best way we can connect with our abundance. Yeah, revenge or whatever, it's a great fuel. Point blank, right? It is that fire. It is, and I'm not saying, like, please don't hear that I am condoning going after people in a malicious way. I'm just saying, when someone hurts you, when someone does you wrong, and then you're able to like re-empower yourself, well, I'll show them, I'll get that job, I'll lose that weight, I'll, find that lover, whatever it may be, right? And that's what I'm talking about, that type of revenge where you know, and again, I don't necessarily feel ill will from you. I don't feel like you're intentionally doing it to get back at someone, but I feel like the circumstances, the situation has forced you to do that. And again, you kind of know this because this week, this trinket energy, whomever, whatever you feel is toying with you, is front and center. And strings are in your blocked energy. So it's apparent if you look hard enough the way someone is trying to pull the strings. I feel like if you want to see, that's becoming obvious. Let's look at how this actually affects you in your own abundance. Okay. Yeah, it makes sense. Like, it's almost like you can't make a decision one way or another, or it's like you feel so limited. You feel so blocked. You might even feel like you're waiting on someone or something else to make decisions. But you also might be putting yourself at the mercy of someone or something that doesn't need to be that way. You know, because Eight of Swords, unfortunately, don't hate me for saying this, but again, the whole purpose for this reading is how can we see our success? How can we see those places where we might be blocking our own self, right? Yeah, there's always reasons, circumstances that we can point out, etc. But there also is this level of accountability. Accountability to yourself is what I'm hearing. Yeah. Ten of Swords has been coming out a lot for us this week anyway. It's a hard lesson, unfortunately, the Ten of Swords. Someone is deciding, again, like, okay, I'm picking up this energy of you feeling like you might be at someone else's, not disposal, but like, you're waiting on them to understand or to better see how a situation is going to move forward. You might feel like you're at someone else's mercy. Again, I don't think that this is necessarily true because you have a lot of fear, a lot of anxiety, a lot of stress popping up. That's almost really counterintuitive. Not almost, it is really counterintuitive to our abundance. It's hard to find peace, especially when someone might be playing with our mind, or they don't know where they're at, so we don't know where they're at, or we don't know where the situation's gonna go. For me personally, I found the best way to combat this is through meditation. I'm a huge proponent of transcendental meditation with a mantra. It really helps eliminate the noise, the chaos. It's actually quite magical, in my opinion. I'm like a huge fan. I've done a lot of different types of meditation throughout the years, and it's bizarre almost. This is why it's magical, because it's naturally and effortlessly aligning you with yourself so that these thoughts, these fears, these anxieties don't get the best of you. You've learned and you're better off, but there's something about this that you're not giving yourself credit for. And it also I do feel like this is a little bit of limitation. What I'm hearing specifically is you're not giving yourself options. You're actually so afraid that you're limited, and then you fixate on what's not going well, or whatever this Four of Pentacles is, whatever you've been dealing with that isn't really sure about you. Right? Someone feels like they have the power in their hands. I don't know if this is someone specifically, but you might be giving power to someone more than what needs be, what they deserve. It could be a boss, especially if it's like finances. It could be a boss. It could be just someone that like, you're afraid that like, if you're honest with yourself, that perhaps you won't be supported, right? Or maybe that you really don't have what it takes. Because some of what we're being forced through in the astrology right now is facing our fear and not being lazy about it. I said this in the other reading. Uranus is stubborn right now. Uranus energy doesn't really want to do things differently, or it's almost the opposite, where it can be an extreme rash decision that ends up kind of imploding the whole spiel, right? But That's not your energy. That's the thing. That's the energy of whomever, whatever you're dealing with that surrounds you. That maybe is making you feel like you're stuck in a situation, in a dynamic that you're not really. You have 10 of Swords, 10 of Pentacles on the board. So that is signifying ending, cycle, closure. Remember that, you know, and here's the thing. Whatever this is, it's short-lived. Whatever they are doing to make you feel or think a certain thing about yourself, or like you don't deserve, right? Like you might be getting someone who's trying to like takes extra money or get a little extra off the top, and it actually ends up hurting you, etc. It's short-lived, right? They can only do that for so long is what I'm getting at. And I think some of it is actually, again, it's perception. That's how I'm hearing it. It's perception. And I almost feel like when you get yourself out of this, like you do have your moments of clarity. And again, not that you're so engulfed in something that you can't see clearly. It doesn't feel that way. It feels like you do have your wisdom, you do have your senses about you, but I feel like it's also hard for you to believe yourself right now because of this Eight of Swords. And there might be some gaslighting. There might be someone who is kind of just like playing a weird game that's making you second guess yourself. Again, in their energy, they have the Six of Wands. Did this come up earlier for us in this reading? If not, it came up in the other reading. They also had the Six of Swords. So choices on the horizon on their end as well. And what I'm hearing, especially if this is something that's like, well, it feels like a limitation. It feels like a block. It's very much about you being able to like see that for yourself. Seven of Pentacles. See that for yourself for what it is. King of Pentacles. And the High Priestess. Okay, so I feel like you might be making some short-term sacrifices this week that you know are going to benefit you in the long run, right? So you know you kind of have this energy around you that might be limiting. And I feel like whether or not you like completely recognize it, it has been affecting, well, I feel like it's been affecting you because it's hard not to see the positive, right? It's hard to see the positive in the midst of some of this stuff. And like I said, you could have someone playing with your mind or saying things that are just not really true. You know, they might be fragments of the truth, but it doesn't really feel like that, right? It's someone trying to play puppet master. It looks like you do kind of break out of this. I don't know. I think you're waiting a lot for something to kind of be the answer, be the solution. Instead of understanding something for what it is now, and then accepting that like this other thing that's maybe coming in to replace it, or like this feels like that level up, right? Whatever you are kind of going after, getting that piece of the pie, it is taking a little bit, right? Like we kind of see that. Let me clarify. Yeah. Learning to find our own strength, learning to express ourselves, learning to understand our own wants and needs in the process, i.e. why something might not be coming in to quote unquote save you, right? And this can be that belief that this one thing is going to come in to make everything better. And yeah, that might be on the horizon. The last reading I started, we got forethought. And I'm picking up this energy of like, if we can see the little things that are coming in, those little day in, day out places that we're feeling like Spirit has our back, we're safe, we're secure, even if we're not getting the quote unquote grand prize, that's where the abundance is. That's where the key to the abundance is, especially this week, because it does look like something is toying with you. Yeah. The Chiromancer, delivering news, collaboration. The Hunter, sure-footedness, predestination. So someone wanting to collaborate, you know, and this has been a consistent theme within the readings lately that I've been doing. Definitely check out. But we are, whatever this thing is that hasn't quite made a decision, it is coming in for communication, right? It is coming in to kind of deliver some type of piece to the puzzle. I've been picking up a lot on this lately as well. More news, more understanding, maybe even about how someone might have been shortchanging you, right? Or ways that like they were deliberately coming after you. Attacking you, attacking your success, attacking that abundance for you. I feel like this is someone who did kind of target you. Even if that's not how they were thinking of it, they were angry, pissed off enough where they're like, okay, well, if collective's going to do this, then I'm going to do this type thing. I don't know. It looks like someone might not be 100% sold on sharing this. I feel like there is some decisions on the table. I feel like it's kind of an energy of like how much is too much, right? How much should be shared? The guide, yeah. I feel like someone's gonna kind of give you their opinion. You might not like it. It might feel like it's putting you back into this space of limitation. We're not liking all the messages, all the communications that are coming up right now. And Jupiter is in retrograde. It's in Cancer. So we are putting a lot of stock into people's situations that make us feel good. But that can be dangerous. That can be tricky because if it doesn't have any substance underneath it, it can be easy to, get caught up in these dynamics where it's not really where we want to be, not people, situations that we want to be dealing with. People that are making it look like they're giving something when really they're not, This is a hidden energy. This is someone who's in competition with you. And I feel like it's definitely played into this Eight of Swords. But there's guidance around you. There's guidance, there's wisdom, the wise one, tradition, order, the guide, inheritance, and correction. I do feel like whatever information is coming out is going to be helpful to you. And I feel like you have been kind of preparing for this. Again, you have your intuition. It's heightened. We have Neptune in retrograde as well in Pisces. Lots of water energy. The veil is thin. You have an opportunity to show mercy because I do feel like this experience has made you stronger and wiser. And I think this week, for your own sanity, it's about getting out of your head. Investing in like what you have built that's really fulfilling, satisfying, supportive. 10 of Pentacles, it's home, it's family, it's legacy, whatever that is for you. It's whatever you're investing in, whatever you're building in, finding the joy, finding the value in that is going to keep you out of this state of fear of the unknown, or exhaustion of like having to wait on someone, something else in order to make whatever decisions they're going to make. There is movement coming at the end of all this, okay? And again, end of day, so we're talking about success. We have Page of Pentacles, King of Pentacles. So Seven of Pentacles. So it will come in, right? That's basically signifying like whatever you're looking for, it is coming in. It is on its way to you. It's just timing right now at this point. So I hope this reading helps. Thank you so much for your time, energy always. I hope you found messages that resonated for you here. So sorry about all the difficulties starting out this reading. I am doing my best. Sometimes I am like an old woman when it comes to technology, but I super appreciate you always. Thank you for the love, the support, especially if you took time out to be here today. I super appreciate you. No, I'm sending all the love, all the blessings back to you.